Hey everybody, Racetrack Ladies.
Hey, coming to you live from Lady Ann's dining room.
This would be the table.
You've seen this shot before.
Yes, you have. So we just got finished watching the Aaron's 499 Cup race at Talladega.
Talladega, as Larry Mack says.
And it was quite exciting.
That actually was a good race, but I have to agree with Junior. There was a little moment that I went.
Yeah, I saw her nodding off.
Well, what I found interesting about this race as compared to other races in Talladega, the packs didn't really break up all that much.
It's the car of tomorrow, car of today thing.
I mean, it was like one big pack, you know, 3 wide, 4 wide, even 5 wide at times.
It made my tummy hurt to watch that race.
Well, so congratulations to Brad Keselowski, who won the race in the 09 Muskogee something car.
He's a Chevrolet.
What
and
is
this was,
Muskogee?
I think it's a resort.
It's an Okie.
I thought it was maybe chewing tobacco. Is it?
No, I think it's a resort.
Anyway.
But anyhow, it was his very first Cup win, which is always exciting. And it's always interesting to see a new winner in Victory Lane. But we can talk about Victory Lane when we get to the end of the race.
That's right. So let's start at the beginning of the race. So Juan Pablo Montoya was on the pole.
I don't care.
Greg Biffle was on the outside pole.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of cars that were going to the back for engine changes.
Yeah, the Dodges had problems this trip.
Yeah. Well, you know, and we'll talk a little bit about that as we go along. So the race starts, and we're like, do. Everybody's just kind of going along.
And we're eating our lunch, and we're thinking it's going to be a long afternoon.
All of our drivers are still just driving along until.
And then,
I don't know, somebody got a little excited. I think they were racing like there was 20 laps to go.
Yeah, and
it was
like
only how many? 7?
It was
lap
7 laps into 188.
Yeah, and hello.
Yeah.
So,
The
so let's talk about the big one. So the big one, from my vantage point, was Matt Kenseth got a little loose, went up into Jeff Gordon's left front, and then Jeffy got loose, and then Jeffy kind of corrected, but at the same time, Kenseth was getting loose again, and bam, Jeff goes into the wall and collects a lot of people in the field.
It was sad.
So Mark Martin was involved.
This is no longer my lucky shirt.
This is no longer my lucky shirt.
Okay, this is my Stewart t-shirt.
Yeah,
we had issues today, but I still follow my Stewart.
You were in the big one, so
the big one really sucked. I mean, Harvick was in it.
A lot of good drivers.
Hornish was in it,
but Hornish seemed to get out of it fine.
J-Mac. But Hornish had problems later.
Yeah.
Hey, Hornish came back.
Yeah, he did come back, but then he found the wall again.
Yeah, but anyhow, so that was like the big accident, and that took out some really good contenders.
Some big players.
And we're talking on lap 7 this happened, okay?
So it really sucked, yeah. So, but we motored on because as NASCAR fans, that's what we do.
That's what we do.
We regroup and we decide
who do we follow now?
Now who's my competition?
If your driver was in the accident, you followed the next driver that you could possibly stand winning.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so we moved on, and so, you know, it was kind of like, I don't know, as you watch the race, it seemed like Kyle Busch had a very strong car, Denny Hamlin had a strong car, Junior had a strong car.
Junior had a strong car.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you kind of have the usual suspects, I thought, up front. Every now and then you had Elliott Sadler that came up to the front and actually was running pretty doggone well there for a while.
I think Elliott just liked to get up there and stir the pot.
Well, I think Elliott got up there and said, "Ooh, I haven't been here in a while. I need to drop back just a little bit."
What do I do?
He got up there, stirred the pot, and came on back.
But, you know, it was interesting that throughout the race you could see that when two cars hooked up nose to tail.
Oh, my Lord.
On the outside, just like you saw at the end, they could go.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the speed difference. They were 10 miles an hour faster than the leader.
It was not a little bit of a difference. It was, man, they could just freight train all the way through.
And you saw a lot of that. And Junior actually was running really, really well. And he was doing a lot of the pushing. He did some pushing with Jeff Burton. He did some pushing with Denny Hamlin.
Well, but the pushing
he tried to push with Jimmy Johnson.
Okay, Junior, that was messed up.
Well,
if you're going to push somebody, do it from the center, not from one of the corners.
He couldn't get the guy to get off his brake.
Yeah, he kept saying Johnson was dragging his brake, but Johnson said he wasn't dragging his brake.
But since when does Junior get to decide how another driver drives his car?
He can decide whatever he wants.
But let's give props.
Oh, that's right,
Junior.
it was Talladega.
That's Talladega and it's Junior. But let's give props to Dale Jr. for not missing his pit stall today. Yay!
Well, okay, that was today. That was
rude.
the nationwide race yesterday.
Oh yeah, he missed it yesterday.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about this.
Hey, but I believe he was very focused. He wanted to win that race today. He was very focused on winning that race today.
And he almost did it. So
Yeah.
so we kind of motored through the race, and there were a few other accidents. There was one that was involving Robbie Gordon, and oh man, the Michael Waltrip spin out on the front stretch where he spun around, didn't hit anything.
Didn't hit anything.
Yeah, Kurt Busch did it again later.
Yeah, same place, and he didn't hit
But Michael did it with
either.
more style.
Yeah, Michael did do it with more style. He got a 10 on the style points.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did 10.
Woo! So, I mean, what else was...
Marianne and Alba.
What?
Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, I don't watch
Oh,
Dancing.
Carrie Ann and Alba.
Okay.
Okay,
I don't watch that show.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So-
whew. So anyhow, so the race kind of went on, and there was that period that it just kind of went on.
Yeah, and then we had some pit stops, and of course we had so many that tires and fuel they weren't an issue. It was more about who could get out into track position.
Yes.
And then as we headed toward the very end of, I guess really the last run of the race, Tony came on the radio and said that he had a cylinder going down.
Well, that was like less than 20 laps to go.
Well, but
Which
that
we
was,
had a big
that was
But he was the only person that had an engine problem in this race. So they had cars that had to go to the back because of engine changes.
Right.
But he was the only one that actually ended up having an engine issue.
Yeah,
during the
and,
race.
However-
and before the green flag on that, he came on and talked to his spotter, and he said, "You need to go tell Mears, you need to go tell Edwards,
Yes.
the guys behind me, tell me which way they want to go,
Right.
because I'm going to get out of their way."
But
Yeah.
Cindy Cullen, now let me say, he had a Hendrix.
Who's that?
Well, I said, however,
Don't hit the table.
I thought you said Cindy. I was like,
Cindy-
who's that?
somebody
Your
listen to me.
sister?
Chip chop.
he had an issue. But I'm going to say this: if all the Hendrick cars had run the entire race, maybe there'd been an issue as well.
I think if is the
No,
big question.
I don't think so. But anyhow,
However.
but there was that accident at the
Whatever.
end that took out Jimmy Johnson, took him right flat out of the race because of the accident
Yeah.
where Juan Pablo Denny Hamlin got into Juan Pablo and turned around some cars.
don't blame it
and
on
stuff, and-
Juan.
Well, okay, so maybe it wasn't Juan's fault, although
Right.
Juan then went across, I don't know, I think it was the 96, and then they all landed into the wall.
Yeah,
but
I
okay,
know.
so
It was
so
a
that was an
melee.
accident.
It was a
semi-melee.
It was an accident that caused some problems. But let's get to the end of the race. So we're with, just 4 laps to go on the last restart.
Right.
And so you thought for sure it was Newman and Junior. They hook up and they're going.
Oh, and I was so excited. Newman is up there. They are motoring along.
Yeah, but the whole time Junior's like, I want to know when somebody's getting a run. I want to know. I want to know.
And I'm looking at Junior and I'm thinking, when is he going to make his move? When is he going to make his move?
He
And
said
he
a
wasn't
lap
making
and a
move.
half.
And
A
then
lap and a half,
I
he was gonna
look
do his
up
move.
at the right-hand corner of the TV screen, and what do I see?
Carl Edwards, Claritin Clear coming through.
What? Who was that was pushing him?
I guess
Brad
he was clear.
Keselowski, because he's like, well, nobody else wanted to play with me. I guess I'll just go do it on my
And I'm
own.
thinking, where are
Okay.
they coming from? So it's the 4 of them, and they are like way ahead of the entire rest of the field. Okay.
Yes.
See, that's what Junior wanted.
So you knew it was between the 4 of them who was going to win.
Right.
So, okay, so, like I was saying, when the 2 got hooked up, they zoomed on through, and that's what happened. Carl Edwards zoomed on through with Brad Keselowski behind him, and they
Right.
take the lead. And it was a given. Carl Edwards was going to
Well,
win.
but then you had Carl trying to push. Brad
Carl,
yeah.
Carl wasn't pushing nobody.
No, Carl Edwards did the Kyle Busch thing.
Yes.
Where he was trying to block no matter where the guy was going. And Brad Keselowski, props to you for not going below the yellow line.
He
and
said,
saying,
I can't go down below the yellow line.
If you're going to
because
push me
NASCAR
there, I'm going to knock you out.
I'm going to hold my line. Thank you, Carl.
See ya!
But the problem was that when he took Carl Edwards out, Carl went airborne and
Yes.
literally flew across he took out the entire top of Ryan Newman's car.
Yeah, he did, and you could see the parts flying into the grandstands.
Yes,
and,
that was scary.
the first TV report was that, oh yeah, the debris stayed inside the track. Well, no, it
No, it
didn't.
didn't.
We
We all
clearly
saw it.
saw
We
it.
all saw it flying the first 4 rows because
That's
everybody
right.
went like this.
Yeah.
Ow!
Yeah,
Just like that.
just like that they did.
And they saw people go down, so they must have been the ones that were
Yeah,
hurt.
exactly.
And we went, oh no.
So what ended up happening was Keselowski won the race, and in second place was Dale Jr.
But wait,
and
I gotta talk
in
about-
third place was
Real quick, Carl Edwards. I think his bell got rung because he started running out of the car.
Right into the finish line.
We were like,
That
where's he
don't work.
going? Carl, did you not watch the King drag his car to the finish line in one of those races?
Well, apparently he doesn't realize that you have to have the car with you. Now,
Yeah.
Ryan Newman, he only had half a car, but that's okay because he passed the line.
Yes, he did. So Ryan Newman finished third, but then we had Marcus Ambrose that was finished in the top.
All right,
as
all
well
trip
as Scott
racing.
Speed. So it was a great. Actually, I thought it was a pretty good race.
It was.
I thought it was pretty good.
And next week we're on to Richmond, so we'll have a
Richmond.
little short track action. We know how exciting that could be. So be sure to catch us on Twitter, which is where we'll be updating you throughout the race on what we hear and what we see and what our opinion is. Okay, be sure to catch instructions on our website.
RacetrackLadies.com.
And until next time, we'll be at the track
and going green.